Hey everybody. So I'm working now on the some of the finishing touches for the Sparrowhawk. So what does that mean? Well, it needs a windscreen, needs a propeller. I need to finish the rigging. I started working on the rigging. So we've got the support wires from the lower wing cabane to the fuselage on both sides. I just need to continue with the landing gear support, the strut wires that go to the landing gear supports, and there's a front and rear that actually cross over. We talked about that on an earlier video. So this is how the paint scheme came out. There's our pilot. And let me see if I can pick this up. There we go. Once I get all of the rigging on there really won't be any good way to pick this airplane up. It's got radio wires and rigging, wing support wires, and it's really a spider web when it's completely done. But here you get a sense of the paint scheme, and silver underwing, silver lower wing, kind of a gold yellow top. I I painted the crankcase bell red. I ran out of the insignia white that I wanted to use, and I thought about yellow and almost put the yellow on it. But in the end, because of the red pinstriping around the white squadron stripes, I just went ahead and painted it red. I think it looks okay. It's close to one of the paint schemes that I found. To be identical to that scheme, it would have a white, a matching white bell. But as I said, I ran short of paint, and funds are tight, so I didn't want to just run out and buy another can of paint. I've got other projects already lined up as I've laid out some cash for materials on, and well, I just don't have any reserve. So anyway, it's a kind of an homage to the typical, I guess, Sparrowhawk. It gives it that familiar look, which is okay, but with the white stripes instead of red. And I don't know. I think to my eye, it looks okay. So what else? I added the pilot's reset control wire to the trapeze hook. That way he can reset the hook in flight, detach the hook if when he wants to let go of the trapeze for flight, and so on. So there's a control line for that. I've connected that. I put the exhaust porting on both sides. Got a few more of those to put in. There's a couple of them have some complicated bends, so these are the ones that were straight shots that I just put those in. Get a sense of how it'll look and make sure they were the right length. Anything else I can think of? Not really. The Dumas decals are okay. Calis are better, but Calis are expensive and come with a lead time and everything else. These decals are provided in the kit, and they're good. They're good. They're just not quite as good as what you might pay for as aftermarket. To get the red striping, I just used the red decal that came with the Dumas kit. I just cut it into strips and used those. So those are painstakingly laid on to border the white stripes that were painted on. And again, we bordered the white nose behind the white cowling, as I described in an earlier video. If you look closely at these airplanes, it's not just the cowling that's painted in an accent color. They actually paint the same cowling accent onto the nose of the airplane, and it shows just behind the cowling if you look closely. What else? That's about it, I guess. As I said, the surfacing job, the paint prep I did on this airplane was okay. Could have been better. The thing I was pleased about on this airplane that is new is the paper side cowlings that I did with cardstock. Those turned out really nice, and that was just added on after the fact. But there you see, They came out smooth. They fit the bill. They look appropriate, and they give the airplane that characteristic that it owned. The original aircraft had that feature, those vented panels, and so this was the best way I could come up with to replicate those. And as I say, I'm pleasantly surprised that worked out really well. Having used the cardstock here for the first time on the cockpit combing, and again, this isn't one piece; it's a laminated cardstock. So I took 2 sheets of cardstock, glued them together as tightly as I could, which meant completely coated with glue, and pressed them together to make a laminate of 2 pieces of cardstock to give it that extra weight. And then using the deluxe sand and seal product, this stuff here, this product made the cardstock did 2 things. It sucked it right down onto the wood, which was great, and it made it malleable as it was curing, which was also good. I could put a bend into it, a smooth bend and not a crease, and so that was good. And then as it cured, it made the cardstock much more dense. So this is almost like a sheet of the birch ply at this point. I put about 6 or 7 coats of that sand and seal on it, and it really did a good job with the cardstock. So it made me think I could at some point I might try, because if you look at how it is across the top here, you can almost skin an airplane with that. And then, so now I'm revisiting the idea of the Cougar, the F9F, with an infill, and then with the cardstock cut to replicate the panels, the individual panels of aluminum that were sheeted to the sides of those airplanes. I could probably replicate that look with the cardstock. So I'm just mulling it over, but really pleased with that. That's a new feature. That's a new method and process that I used there, and it worked out well. So I'll be doing that again. We'll be using cardstock a little bit more. I don't know how durable it'll be over time, but it feels like it'll hold up with both the sand and seal product on it, the paint on it, the white glue backing of it, and so on. I think it should be fairly durable. I guess time will tell, like always. All right, so thanks for watching. And again, this is our current status. We still have rigging. We need a windscreen. I need to fabricate the windscreen. I need to fabricate a propeller, and then just a few other little odds and ends. Finish the panel lines. I did the control surface for the ailerons on the top of the wing, but I didn't put them on the undersurface yet. And likewise, I didn't put the elevator demarcation lines on the underside of the elevator here. I only have them on the top surface so far. So there's a little bit more to do with panel lines, rigging, windscreen, and propeller, and then whatever else I can think of to finish it off. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great day.